Hi, my name is Harley Hill, and I am reading through the Bible. I'm also reading through the Book of Mormon and the Doctrine and Covenants, so check those videos out. We are on chapter 19. Yes. Okay, let's get right into it. Chapter 19. Lot entertains holy men. The men of Sodom seek to abuse Lot's guests and are smitten with blindness. Lot, sent out of Sodom, the Lord rains brimstone and fire upon Sodom and Gomorrah. Lot's daughters preserve his seed in the land. Okay, here we go. And it came to pass, or no, that is not what this says. And there came two angels to Sodom at even, and Lot sat. Oh, I remember what we were reading. Yes. Okay. Watch the last Holy Bible video because we got some major details, and this is super cool. And I'll do some research and post that at the end of this chapter as well because this is really cool. Okay. And there came two angels to Sodom at even, and Lot sat in the gate of Sodom, and Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them, and he bowed himself with his face toward the ground. And he said, Behold now, my lords, turn in, I pray you, into your servant's house, and tarry all night, and wash your feet, and ye shall rise up early and go on your ways. And they said, Nay, but we will abide in the street all night. And he pressed upon them greatly, and they turned in unto him, and entered into his house, and he made them a feast. Wow, they agreed. That's cool. And did bake unleavened bread, and then they did eat. But before they lay down, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, compassed the house round. Ooh, that's wild. Both old and young, all the people from every quarter. And they called unto Lot and said unto him, Where are the men which came to see thee this night? Bring them unto us, that we may know them. So all these people that are, yeah, whatever. Anyway, we'll keep going. You really should watch the last video. We went way deep on this, and it's awesome. And Lot went out at the door unto them, and shut the door after him, and said, I pray you, brethren, do not so wickedly. Behold, now I have two daughters which have not known man. Let me, I pray you, bring them out unto you, and do ye to them as is good in your eyes. What the freak? Only unto these men do nothing. For therefore came they under the shadow of my roof. Did he just pawn his daughters off that are virgins to protect the angels or something? That's weird. And they said, Stand back. And they said again, This one fellow came in to sojourn, and he will needs be a judge. Now will we deal worse with thee than with them? And they pressed sore upon the man, even Lot, and came near to break the door. And the men put forth their hands and pulled Lot into the house to them and shut the door. So the angels grabbed him, pulled him inside. And they, I think, and they smote the men that were at the door of the house with blindness, both small and great, so that they wearied themselves to find the door. Dang, they're like pulled him inside and like, everyone's blind. For we will destroy this place, because the cry of them is waxen great before the face of the Lord, and the Lord hath sent us to destroy it. And Lot went out and spake unto his sons-in-law, which married his daughters, and said, Up, get you out of this place, for the Lord will destroy this city. But he seemed as one that mocked unto his sons-in-law. I don't know. And when the morning arose, then the angels hastened Lot, saying, Arise, take thy wife and thy two daughters which are here, lest they be consumed in the iniquity of the city. And while he lingered, the men laid up upon his hand, and upon the hand of his wife, and upon the hand of his two daughters, the Lord being merciful unto him, and they brought him forth and set him without the city. And it came to pass, when they had brought them forth abroad, that he said, Escape for thy life. Look not behind thee, neither stay thou in the plain. Escape, that's an important thing. Look not behind thee. That means your heart is not actually listening. Neither stay thou in the plain, escape to the mountain, lest thou be consumed. Oh, wait, this is Sodom and Gomorrah, Lot's wife, and the pillar of salt. Holy cow. And Lot said unto them, Oh, not so. I've not read the Bible, by the way. I've read in church, like we learned, like I've gone to seminary, I got all these tabs, like I learned stuff, but I didn't pay attention enough as if I was like just reading through it. So it was a cool experience. Behold, now thy servant hath found grace in thy sight. Wait, where am I at? And Lot said unto them, O not so, my lord. Behold, now thy servant hath found grace in thy sight, and thou hast magnified thy mercy, which thou hast showed unto me in saving my life, and I cannot escape to the mountain, lest some evil take me, and I die. Behold, now this city is near to flee unto, and it is a little one. Oh, let me escape thither. Is it not a little one? And my soul shall live. So he's like, let me go to this town instead of going out of the wilderness. And he said unto him, See, I have accepted thee concerning this thing also, that I will not overthrow this city, for the which thou hast spoken. Haste thee, escape thither, for I cannot do anything till thou be come thither. I can't wait to research what all this means. Therefore the name of the city was called Zoar, and the sun was risen upon the earth when Lot entered into Zoar. I got people calling me. Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven, and he overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the cities and that which grew upon the ground. But his wife, this is that, dang it. And his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. And Abraham gat up early in the morning to the place where he stood before the Lord, and he looked towards Sodom and Gomorrah. I like how they just like move along. And toward all the land of the plain, and beheld, and lo, the smoke of the country went up as the smoke of a furnace. And it came to pass, when God destroyed the cities of the plain, that God remembered Abraham and sent Lot out of the midst of the overthrow, when he overthrew the cities in which Lot dwelt. And Lot went out of Zoar and dwelt in the mountain, and his 2 daughters with him, for he feared to dwell in Zoar, and he dwelt in a cave. So he's like, let me go to this small town. It'll be all right, right? And they're like, okay, I'll go there. And then he sees Sodom and Gomorrah to get destroyed, and he's like, you know what? Let's not stay in a town. And he dwelt in a cave. And he and his 2 daughters. And the firstborn said unto the younger, Our father is old, and there is not a man in the earth to come in unto us after the manner of all the earth. Come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. That is yucky and unfortunate. And I don't have a kind word to say about it. Like, that's ballsy. That's some buckling down, save the world type stuff. And that's unfortunate they had to do that. And they made their father drink wine that night, and the firstborn went in and lay with her father, and he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. And it came to pass on the morrow that the firstborn said unto the younger, Behold, I lay yesternight with my father. Let us make him drink wine this night also, and go thou in and lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. And they made their father drink wine that night also, and the youngest arose and lay with him. and he perceived not when they lay down, nor when she arose. So I think they got him so, not to talk gross or whatever, but I think they got him so drunk that he didn't remember any of it, so they were doing it all themselves, which is a little better. Still awful, but still brave. Awesome. Thus were both the daughters of Lot with child by their father, and the firstborn bare a son, and called his name Moab. The same is the father of the Moabites unto this day. And the younger she also bare a son, and called him Benami, the same as the father of the children of Ammon unto this day. Crazy. All right, let me research this and I'll be right back. Okay, all of this is about as bad as it sounded. I'll read to you what this chapter is about. Genesis chapter 19 is one of the most sobering chapters in the Bible. It tells the story of God's judgment in Sodom and Gomorrah, but it also reveals his mercy, his justice, and the consequences of living in persistent sin. This is some rough stuff. The chapter begins with two angels arriving in the city of Sodom. Lot, Abraham's nephew, is sitting, and that's why the seed had to be preserved, because Abraham's seed needed to be preserved. And this is his son. So Lot is sitting in the city gate. When he sees the visitors, he urgently insists that they stay in his home rather than spend the night in the city square. Lot knows how wicked the city has become, and he wants to protect them. That night, the men of Sodom surround the house. They demand that the visitors be brought outside so that they can sexually assault them. Like, how evil was this city? Like, what the freak? This shows just, this is the next thing it says, this shows just how corrupt the city had become. Their sin was not simply one wrong choice. It was a society filled with violence, sexual immorality, pride, and complete disregard for God and for other people. I don't even want to get into the details of that, what I just thought, and how crazy that is. You can do it yourself in your own mind if you need. In a desperate attempt to protect his guests, Lot offers his daughters instead. Crazy. This is one of the most disturbing moments in the chapter. The Bible records what happened, but it does not approve of Lot's actions. His decision was wrong, even though he was trying to protect the men under his roof. Before the crowd can act, the angels pull Lot back into the house and strike the mob with blindness. Even then, the men continue trying to force their way inside, which is crazy. How evil, how driven and gross, showing how hardened their hearts had become. This is why God destroyed the whole city. This is why God wiped them off. There's nothing but pure debauchery. The angels then tell Lot that God is about to destroy Sodom. They urge him to gather his family. I don't even like reading this. His family and leave immediately. Lot warns his future sons-in-law, and because there's multiple, they think that he is joking and refuse to go. Lot himself hesitates, but because of God's mercy, the angels take Lot, his wife, and two daughters by the hand and lead them out of the city. They are given one simple command: escape for your life, do not look back. Lot asks if they can flee to a small town of Zoar instead of the mountains, and God graciously allows it. Then the Lord rains sulfur and fire upon Sodom and Gomorrah, completely destroying the cities as Lot and his family flee. Lot's wife looks back despite God's command and becomes a pillar of salt. Whether she looked back out of longing, doubt, or disobedience, the lesson is clear. When God calls us out of sin, he calls us to leave it behind completely. I need to lock that into my mind. The chapter ends with another tragic account. Here's something I should say. I don't like reading this. I don't like all this gross stuff. I don't want to get into details of what these people might have been thinking to get through this and societal stuff, but bad stuff can still be used for good. Like, this is a lesson so that our small sins don't become a cultural sin, and cultural sins don't become a societal sin of just debauchery, because small stuff leads to big stuff, whether it's good or bad. And that is just a fact of the universe. And that's why Christian people make big deals about small sins, because we know where it leads. The chapter ends with another tragic event or account. Believing there are no men left to continue their family line, Lot's daughters get their father drunk on 2 separate nights and become pregnant by him From these sons come the nations, and we just went through that, so you understand all that. Genesis 19 teaches us several important truths. God is holy and will judge unrepentant sin. At the same time, he is merciful and rescues those who belong to him. We also see the compromising with a sinful culture can have lasting consequences. That is exactly what I was just talking about, and we see that all over the world today, and it's rough because then it makes people not feel loved. But facts are facts, right is right, wrong is wrong. Lot was, and you still love your enemy, by the way. Lot was saved by his family, carried the scars of the world they had chosen to live in. Some people believe Sodom was destroyed for only one particular sin. However, the Bible gives a broader picture. Along with sexual immorality, and people of Sodom were guilty of violence, pride, arrogance, neglecting the poor, abusing strangers, and openly rebelling against God. Their attempted assault of the angels was the outward expression of a city that had become completely corrupted. This is the most disgusting thing ever. I feel so gross. Genesis 19 is ultimately a reminder that God is both perfectly just and perfectly merciful. He warns before he judges, he keeps his promises, and he provides a way of escape for those who trust and obey him. I testify that those things are true and hope that we can keep anything like that from ever happening again, even though I know the end of the world is going to be a lot worse than that, and it's coming. But Jesus Christ will come, and there is a way. Stay close to him. Always do what's right. And I say these things and love you guys in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.